I want to be under the bright lights. I want to be on the Broadway stage.
Tiger Rag Radio is on now.
Welcome back to the second hour of Tiger Rag Radio. Jeff Palermo, News and Sports Director of the Louisiana Radio Network, along with the Executive Editor for Tiger Rag Magazine, Todd Horn, and the Editor, Glenn Gilbo. We begin our second hour of the show talking some hoops. And joining us now, LSU men's basketball coach Matt McMahon. Coach McMahon, thanks a lot for spending some time with us. I know you're probably happy you don't have to take a final exam tonight, right?
Oh, I definitely don't miss those days. I appreciate you having me on, though, and our players are in a good position here going into final exams, just like anything else. Got to finish strong.
Coach, Glenn Gilbo here. So you're not practicing today. I imagine you're studying a lot of film of SMU. You play them Saturday, 3 o'clock, ESPNU over in Frisco, which is near Dallas. What do the Mustangs look like?
Very talented team. I think a top 25 type team, and our preparation needs to reflect that. New coach, Coach Enfield, comes over from USC, where he did a terrific job. As you've seen in football, and they've also done it in basketball, they've invested very heavily in their programs, and they were able to put together a really talented roster. Got great size up front with the 7'2" young fellow who came over from the Turkey Pro Leagues, and were able to get really old and experienced, proven players in the portal this past spring. They're coming off a huge win, double figures over Virginia, and we expect it to be a battle on Saturday.
Well, Matt, you had a nice win over Florida Gulf Coast Sunday afternoon, 80-71. You're up by 20 throughout the second half, and Damian Collins, who I'll always remember what you told us when we interviewed before the season, how he's one of the most talented players you've ever coached, and he showed that big time, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 block shots against Florida Gulf Coast as he replaced Jalen Reed in the lineup. Just is that a kind of a glimpse of what the Damian you think you're going to see here for a while?
Well, I think so. What you've seen here early in the season has just been elite rim protection, shot blocking, altering shots, finishing plays around the basket. And what you saw in the win over Florida Gulf Coast, I thought his full skill package on full display. Hit a 3, thought he was terrific against their ball screen coverage. He was able to play in that 15-foot nail area right there at the free throw line and made some really good passes. He hit a couple mid-range floaters there around the SEC logo. He had that George the Iceman Gervin finger roll from the free throw line. I just thought he showed all of his different skill sets that he possesses there on the offensive end, in addition to the factor that he's been for us defensively.
Hey, Coach, it's Todd. With the gut punch loss of Jalen Reed for the season, which is obviously tragic and horrible, obviously that opens up more playing time and potential for Damian Collins, who you were just talking about. But I saw Noah Boyd get his first real action of the season against Florida Gulf Coast. Are we expecting to see more of him, and do you have plans for him immediately?
Yeah, I really like Noah. I think he's going to be a good player for us and can really help us. I think myself and everyone included has to understand he hasn't played basketball in 12 months coming off his ACL. So I think it's going to be a process here. He just got cleared to full practice. He's been with the scout team the last 3 weeks or so, working his way back in. He just had full contact for the first time earlier this past week. I think he has potential to help us. I think you saw his size in the limited minutes. I mean, 7 feet tall, 260 pounds. And the physicality around the basket in this league. So I think it's really important for us to continue to bring him along.
I also wanted to ask you, I mean, the more and more that we watch this team, as journalists or as fans, Dji Bailey is just continuing to look like the glue that holds that entire offense together. Is that an accurate assessment?
I think so. I think the great description for him is winner. It's just what he is. He impacts winning in everything he does. He's a guy that's defended the other team's best player every night out. You see us go into some of the four-guard packages where he's able to play a lot bigger than his size and guard other teams' power forwards as well. Best assist-to-turnover ratio on the team. One of the great two-point field goal scorers. Really, as crazy as it sounds, in the last decade of college basketball, his numbers are insane. And I was happy to see him knock down a couple threes yesterday. He's really worked hard there to improve his range. And so, I think he's that guy you want on your team. He does a little bit of everything well, and all he cares about is winning and making the people around him better. And that's always proven to be a really good formula in good players over the years.
Hi, I'm Mike Munderland, and we're here to smash the capital city's trash.
Smash My Trash is a revolutionary compactor for large dumpsters, sometimes reducing the volume of waste by up to 70%. This means fewer hauls per month and big savings for your business. Fewer hauls and compacted waste will also result in a positive impact on our community and our environment by taking up less space in our local landfill sites. Schedule your company's free demo today. Call 225-497-0101.
Trains are everywhere. You should always expect one, even on private property. Only cross tracks at designated crossings that fit your equipment. If you don't fit, don't commit. Look, listen, live.
Talking to LSU basketball coach Matt McMahon here on Tiger Rag Radio. Matt, did you happen to catch what Leonard Hamilton said about your guard play and second half adjustments after the win over Florida State?
I did not get a chance to see that. Have great respect for Coach Hamilton, Hall of Fame coach. I think he's coming up on 700 wins. We played him one of my years at Murray to go to the Sweet 16, and man, he's just always done such a terrific job. But no, I did not get a chance to see his comments.
Yeah, he was real complimentary. He said that you had a little trouble with his switching defense there in the first half as your guards were trying to penetrate and dish, but then you just backed up in the second half and just started taking more threes. The guards did, and he said he didn't know if he would let his players shoot from that deep, but he really praised that and said that y'all are going to go a long way this season if you stay healthy. And he had seen the injury to Jalen at that time, but it seems to me the four guards, Bailey, Carter, Miller, and Sears, they might not all play well on a given night, but you usually get two or three of them, or at least one, and I think that's one of the reasons why you've been consistent at 8-1.
Well, I appreciate it, Glenn. I think we certainly aren't the first team to struggle with Coach Hamilton switching defense over the years. I was really proud of our players for doing enough in the first half to hang around, and then in the second half to score 53 points against that disruptive defense was, to your point, really a great credit to our guard play. I know we've talked before with Bailey, Carter, and Sears. You're talking about over 7,000 minutes of college basketball game experience. Not to mention I guess they combined got to be somewhere around 1,200 practices between them. So we were trying to be very intentional there in bringing those older experienced guards in. And then I think the emergence of Victorious Miller as another scorer on the perimeter has been good for us. So still a long way to go, but I'm definitely very pleased with our backcourt play and the direction that's headed.
Yeah, and getting back to the forwards, Corey Chess, you got to be really happy with him, the way he's played as well.
Yeah, I think the big key for us, those senior guards have been really consistent. I think the emergence of Victorious Miller and Corey Chess, our two freshmen, has been huge for us. And Corey, First career double-double yesterday. He's got to be up amongst the nation's leaders in rebounds per minute. He just flies around, and then you saw his defensive impact as well here recently, creating a lot of havoc on that end of the floor and fueling our transition game. So, very excited for Corey. You saw that performance at Kansas State where he goes in and gets 13 rebounds in 21 minutes, and he's really just built on that with consistent production on both ends of the floor.
Coach, I know you don't like to look ahead, but we're in mid-December basically right now. And then, of course, the SEC Gauntlet starts. What are some things that you would like the team to really accomplish over the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
Well, the clear and obvious one is we have this really good opportunity on the road against an ACC team on Saturday and then 3 straight home games. So want to win as many of those as humanly possible. But as far as the process, how do we get better in preparation for SEC play? Number one, our defensive rebounding has to improve. Our rim protection right now ranks 4th in the country, which has been awesome to see. But it also puts us in some scramble situations where we have not rebounded well out of those shot block opportunities around the basket. And a lot of that pressure goes to our guards. And so that's on me to help them get better there and understand some of those rotations. But it's really unique. We're top 25 in the country in offensive rebounding, which is awesome. But we have not been a good defensive rebounding team. I think the second thing is we need to have ball security like we did against Florida State, where we only turned it over 11 times against that really disruptive defense. Yesterday in the first half, you go in up 15. We only gave up 27 points in the first half. 17 of them were off offensive rebounds and turnovers, our own turnovers. So I think those would be the 2 areas that really jump off the page to me. And then, we got to continue to improve those 2 areas. That's where our biggest return on investment lies as we move forward.
Coach, Dji Bailey usually takes the opponent's top scorer, right? I think you've done that in just about every game.
Correct.
And it seems like you may have quite a few defined roles like that. Is that true? Like, you want to make sure this player does that, whether it's offense or defense. Is that something you kind of did going into the season, or it's evolved, or how do you go about that as a coach?
Yeah, I think, Glenn, you certainly try and make the best evaluations and assessments you can based on June to November and all your practices and preseason training. But I do think that continues to evolve. It's really unique. I mean, right now, as far as the core of our rotation, Jalen Reed was the only returning player who played significant minutes last year that was in there, and now obviously he's out. So I still think it's a work in progress, but I have been very pleased with some of the clarity that's been provided there by the players. And I know I always say it, I've got the final say, and our coaching staff has the final say in what roles are, but I've always believed players define their roles on the team, and I've been very pleased with the way that's taken shape to this point.
Okay, thank you a lot, Matt McMahon, for joining us here. Good luck the rest of the week, and against SMU on Saturday. We'll be talking again soon.
All right, I look forward to it. Thanks so much for having me. Go Tigers.
It's time to start betting on yourself. Louisiana 988 can help if you're dealing with tough emotions caused by gambling habits. You can share as much or as little as you want, and it's completely confidential. It's free, available 24/7, and most people who reach out report feeling better right in the moment. Call or text 988 anytime.
Season's Readings. Yes, readings from your friends with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Ring in the holidays with movies shown from the plaza of the library on Goodwood. Crafts galore. Please come and browse. And what would the holidays be without music? Your East Baton Rouge Parish Library will feature several concerts with unique artists. To get the full calendar of events, go to ebrpl.com. The East Baton Rouge Parish Library.